And we are back. Senator Moseley Braun, welcome.
Thank you. Delighted to be here.
During your career in the Senate, you were always for a constitutional amendment to balance the budget.
Right.
Is that still your position?
Yes.
We have a deficit of $500 billion right now.
It's awful.
How would you balance the budget?
I think we start with rolling back the tax cut the third of the tax cuts that this administration has come up with. Turn away from the kind of trickle-down economics that I like to say has given voodoo economics a bad name, that is not working, has not worked, cannot work. That we begin to re-energize this economy to rebuild America by investing in job creation, investing in infrastructure, rebuilding our crumbling schools. You'll recall I did a lot of work on rebuilding schools when I was in the Senate. And,
but if we have a balanced budget, how are you going to do that? If we have a $500 billion deficit, the tax cuts won't balance it. How are you going to have more spending and still balance the budget?
Well, it'll take a year or two. As Clinton, I was part of the Democratic team that helped Bill Clinton get the budget balanced, move in the direction of budget balance. It comes from, it proceeds from a revived economy. And this economy, for all of the wishful thinking, and we all, of course, hope the economy turns around, but, you know, we're in the doldrums and have been there now for the entirety of this administration. And yet, and the only response is the approach of trickle down and, you know, let's give rich people some more money and hope that that'll solve our problems. It won't, it hasn't, and frankly, the misadventure that you were just talking about in Iraq only served to deepen the hole that was already being dug.
You talk about the misadventure. I'm going to show you an interview you gave to the National Public Radio in May, and I'll show you and our viewers on the screen. The question becomes, again, whether it was the right course, whether this unelected president had any right to send American men and women into harm's way. Right. Unelected president?
Well, you know, I wasn't here for the last election, but I saw what happened, and the fact is this president did not win the majority of the votes of the American people. Now, our system allows the Electoral College to make another decision, but he did not have a mandate, and as much to the point, the Constitution, in Article 1, calls on the Congress to issue declarations of war. So what you have is an almost Orwellian situation in which the Congress ducked its responsibility, passed a resolution to someone that did not win the popular vote, to put us on a course that, frankly, in my opinion, has precious little to do with finding bin Laden, with actually fighting a real war on terrorism.
But George Bush is not the duly elected president of the United States and the commander-in-chief who has the right to send men and women.
He is the commander-in-chief, and he was selected by the Electoral College to be the president, and everybody stands by that. We all did, and we all do.
He's not the duly elected president.
But he was not, he did not win a majority of the votes of the American people. I mean, that's just mathematics. That's just the numbers. Joe Lieberman likes to say, people ask if we can win. Well, we already did. The fact is that this president did not get the mandate.